Hey everybody, I'm JJ, you're watching Reality Survival. So let's talk about Ukraine and Russia. Saw a news alert today from Fox News saying that they are going to start evacuating family members of embassy personnel. If you keep up to date on the situation worldwide, then you'll know that, and you'll start seeing it on more local news and stuff too, cable news and whatnot, that it is looking more and more like Russia is going to invade Ukraine. I tend to think that they will, personally. Again, this is all just my speculation. I don't have any inside information about this or anything like that. I think that they probably will invade, and the reason I say that they probably will is because there's not really any big deterrents to keep them from invading. If they do, well, let's talk about why would they do it. Ukraine, I think in most wars, in many wars, a good percentage of wars, you can tie the reasons for the wars back to religion or resources. Usually. It's usually about one of those two things. Not every war, but almost every war. Sometimes women. But anyway, in history, it's usually religion or resources. In this particular case, I think this would be over resources. The southeast half of Ukraine is very rich with minerals, especially rare earth minerals, and a lot of minerals that are going to be particularly important in the coming decades with the new types of weapon development and electric cars and all this kind of stuff. Now, Russia has a lot of rare earth minerals and all those kinds of things. Unfortunately, most of it is inaccessible in the Siberian tundra, and so they are probably looking to score something that's a little bit more easily accessible. That southeastern portion of Ukraine also happens to be a good percentage of their industrial base. They are a very good manufacturing country, and they have a lot of technology in that regard that would be very helpful and useful to Russia in trying to reestablish dominance. And Putin has been quoted many times over the decades saying that he would like to see the reestablishment of the USSR, and I think this is just another step in that direction. Additionally, if you look at the voting distribution of Ukraine, you will see that the southeastern half of the country did not vote for the current sitting president of Ukraine. And that half of the country also happens to be the Russian-speaking majority of the country. So my guess is, if I was in Putin's shoes and I was going to be invading, my guess is that he will probably invade the southeastern portion of the country. I'll kind of throw in some maps here so you can see what I'm talking about. And he probably will not try to take over the entire country. It is possible that he may stay to the east of the Dnieper. I think it's called the Dnieper River, that runs down kind of from the north to the southeast of the country. He might also take that region as well as the bottom southeastern portion. I don't think that he's going to try to go into Kiev and take the whole country. The reason I say that is I think that what we've learned over the last few decades is that racial, ethnical lines tend to cause more problems with insurgencies. And so that southeastern portion tends to be ethnocentric, more geared towards being similar to and like Russia. They speak Russian language. They, are probably going to be more amenable to becoming a part of Russia again. Whereas the other half of the country, the northwestern half of the country, is not. They're probably going to fight much harder. They're not going to be as interested in becoming a Russian state again. That's just my guess. When you look out the way that the military divisions are laid out as well, it also happens to coincide with that southern half of the region. My guess is that if Russia has been on its game from a human intelligence perspective and trying to recruit spies and things like that, they probably focused on that region as well. Again, pure speculation. I don't have any knowledge if that's true or not. It's just what I would do if I was in their shoes. And so, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I would guess that they will move in probably. I don't know what the timeline is. I might be completely wrong on this. My guess is it'll be less than 4 weeks from today. We'll see. Today's January 22nd. So, by the end of February, I think would be a pretty sound guess. Yeah, part of the reason I say this is because also they are doing a joint naval exercise. If I remember correctly, it's with China and Iran. And there are going to be involved up to 160 warships and 140 warships and 60 planes, something like that. And so that's a pretty big exercise. They're also conducting a military exercise with Belarus right now. As you know, there is, I think it's about 100,000 to 125,000 troops stationed all around the country of Ukraine right now. And so it just seems likely that they probably will invade. Now, maybe there'll be enough diplomatic pressure established, with the NATO countries and that kind of thing that'll persuade them not to. I tend to doubt that, though. I think that when you look at the cost ratio, the cost versus gain ratio, they're gaining quite a bit more than what they're losing in doing this, because Ukraine is a very industrialized nation. They have a lot of good resources, and it's probably going to be a net win for Russia to do this in the long term, if I had to guess. But who knows? I might be totally wrong. So in 4 weeks, you guys can come back and watch this video and say, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. But it seems like a safe bet to say this to me, that's what's going to happen. Now, what does that mean for us and, from a disaster preparedness perspective? Well, I think that, as I've been saying for the last 18 months or so, supply chain shortages are going to continue to be a problem. If NATO ends up getting involved in a conflict with Russia, that could also exacerbate supply chain issues, obviously. So making sure that you're stocked up, making sure that you've got plenty of, food in your stores is probably a good idea. And that's just the same thing that I've been telling you guys for, 10 years, really, since I've been on here. If you want to check out some discounted food prices, you can go to realitysurvivalfood.com and look at a couple of offers that My Patriot Supply has there. Pretty good stuff, and it's decent prices. The thing that I've noticed about them is that they have been able to keep food in stock when other places haven't. So at this point, that's probably the key thing, because a lot of long-term food storage companies just don't have stuff in stock right now. So there's that. If you want to stay more situationally up to date on these things, check out onscenealert.com. Go over there. You can take a look at their program. They will send you alerts about ongoing threats. If this whole thing with Russia and NATO and all this kind of stuff spins out of control and the United States gets involved and all that kind of stuff, then those kinds of things would probably be sent out as text messages to your phone, letting you know what's going on. That way you could plan appropriately. And also, just for situational awareness, they have a daily intel brief that they send right to your email inbox. and it's usually 6 to 10 pages of a PDF, and it really has a great variety of disaster-related news stories. So you can keep tabs of what's going on around the world, what things are more likely to happen. It really helps build good situational awareness, I think. He has offered you guys a discount if you use the discount code Reality Survival. It'll save you 30%, and you can get it for basically $6.99 a month. Which is about the cost of a coffee these days. And he'll give us $2 here at the Reality Survival channel each month that you are a subscriber with them. So you're also helping to support us. So we appreciate that if you do that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to live the 6 P's. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.